Welcome to the Center for Universal Oneness. We are an open, welcoming, spiritual community that supports all faith traditions and invites you to join us on your spiritual journey. We host different speakers each week to guide and inspire us. We are guided by universal principles of acceptance of all that is sacred, and we strive to live in the oneness of love. Please enjoy this presentation.
Mitch Austin is here again. Mitch I think this is your third time. That's
Third.
Yeah. Is that right?
Yep.
Yeah, good. Yeah. And what a wonderful, appropriate title for today, or maybe yesterday, but Unwrapping the Gift of You is exciting to me to hear what that's all about. Mitch is a student at the Holmes Institute, ministerial student there. He is licensed science of mind practitioner for 8 years and leads the practitioner for the Center for Spiritual Awareness. So, Mitch, welcome back. It's great to see you again. And we got a video, right? We got a song. All right. Hit it.
Beautiful. Woo. Good reminder. Yes. So blessed to be with you this morning. And happy after the holidays. I hope everyone had a wonderful day yesterday. Maybe you're still like cleaning up from all the festivities, or maybe getting back to the regular flow of life. And we're going to still talk about one more gift that you need to unwrap. And we're going to talk a little bit about that gift in terms of yourself, how each of us is a gift. But sometimes it's easy to forget that, yes? Yeah, I gave this talk last week, and I got up on stage. I was all dressed up and I said, I'm a gift and I'm all wrapped up just for you. And there was a time when I couldn't say I was a gift. There was a time I couldn't even think it because there was so much judgment layered over that essence of myself, that God being on the inside that India Ari mentioned in her song. And it's easy to forget it. Sometimes we think about all the things we're not, or that we haven't done, right? Haven't paid the bills, or maybe the house is a mess, or maybe you didn't get the promotion, or maybe you had a fight with your spouse or your friend or your neighbor, and there gets this sense of unworthiness to even say that we are a gift. We're in the season where there's a naughty list. And there's a lump of coal for people who aren't worthy. But the truth is, by the very beingness of who we really are, always makes us worthy of the Most High, love, joy, and beingness. And there's a piece by Melissa Kamara Wilkins that I'd like to share with you. And it's called What It Means to Be Enough. You are enough means that you don't have to strive to become worthy, more valid, more acceptable, or more loved. You are already all of those things. There are things you might want to be more of. You might want to be more open, more honest, more true, more authentic, more free, more connected, more intentional, more purposeful. Those are all expressions of your enoughness. They aren't about you changing yourself. They're about being yourself. You were enough before, you are enough now, and you will continue to be enough as you become more of who you were made to be. And believing that when the world keeps whispering otherwise is brave. That's what I mean when I say you are enough. And not only are you enough, you're a gift. But you're not a gift because of your talents, your accomplishments, your service, or any aspect of achieving or doing. Your very beingness, your very presence is a gift. I'd like you to say right now to yourself, I am a gift. I am a gift. And if it gets stuck anywhere in your body or your mind, you feel some heaviness in your mind, it just means there's a little more work to do with that truth of the beingness of who you truly are. And so I know you're absolutely a gift. You want to know how I know? You want to know? Because there is no spot that God is not. Ernest Holmes tells us this. There is no spot that God is not. That must mean the divine, the most high love, the most high wisdom, the most high power must be within me. And I love that Deacon Derek Cranston, he puts it this way. He says, deep inside all of us is a spark of the divine, an eternal essence transcending time and space. It's the core of our being, a being made in the image of God. And that core is never born, it never dies. It is the very essence of our being. We can't lose it, but we can cover it up. Yes, we can cover it up with labels, with judgments, right? You know the labels. I'm a mother, I'm a father, I'm a grandparent, I'm a CEO, I'm a dog walker, I'm a philanthropist, right? Or the judgment labels. I'm the good son or the bad son or the good daughter or the bad daughter or the, right? Or the black sheep, the prodigal. We have all these labels and judgments that we use to identify the human self, but the human self, that's transitory. All of it falls away. See, the only eternal truth, that truth and real truth is a truth that never changes. The capital T truth. You know, love is truth. Love never changes. We know that love is love in America, love is love in India, love is love in Russia. We all know this eternal truth of love because it never changes. And there's a piece of you that is eternal and it never changes. But it's easy to get stuck on the labels. Yes? Yeah, because the world tells us that, right? That's how we identify ourselves. I have a great little story about someone who caught himself identifying with his label and then saw through it. And the story is called What We Can Learn from a Styrofoam Cup. See, we can get our spiritual food from anything right here. What we can learn from a Styrofoam cup. So the story goes, I heard a story from a former Undersecretary of Defense who gave a speech at a large conference. He took his place at the stage and began sharing his prepared remarks with the audience. He paused to take a sip of coffee from a Styrofoam cup. He brought it on stage with him and he took another sip and smiled. You know, he said, interrupting his speech, I spoke here last year and presented at the same conference on the same stage. But last year, I was still the undersecretary. He said, I flew here in business class, and when I landed, there was somebody waiting for me at the airport to take me to my hotel. Upon arrival to the hotel, someone had already checked me in and escorted me up to my room. The next morning when I came down, there was someone else again waiting for me to take me to the venue. And they took me to the back entrance and into the green room and handed me a cup of coffee in a beautiful ceramic mug. But this year, as I stand here and speak to you, I'm no longer the undersecretary, he continued. I flew here in coach class. I had to take a taxi to get to the hotel. And when I got there, I had to check myself in, take myself up to the room. The next morning, I went down to the lobby, had to go catch a cab to come to the venue. I went through the front door and had to make my way to the back of the stage. And once I was there, I asked one of the techs, was there any coffee? He pointed to a coffee machine against the wall. So I walked over and poured myself this cup of coffee into the Styrofoam cup. He said as he raised the cup to show the audience, "It occurs to me," he continued, "the ceramic cup they gave me last year, it was never meant for me at all. It was meant for the position I held. I deserve a styrofoam cup." What if we could wear these labels and these roles that we wear in this human drama so loosely that we can have that awareness and not be offended we got a styrofoam cup or there was no one there to greet us, right? It's easy to get confused with these things, yes? So how do we do this? We've got to unwrap some of those layers of ego-based consciousness, right? The ego-based consciousness that says I am what I have, what I do, what others think of me, that I'm this body, and that we're separate from one another, right? It's very easy then to forget that essence, that being, that eternalness of ourselves. I love what Veronica Tuglileva says. She says, "You never know who you are unless you shed who you pretend to be." And it's not that we consciously pretend, but when we show up, we're just given all kinds of stuff, right? We're given a name, we're given a gender, we're given a family story of how we are in this family, right? All these things layering over the truth of us, the essence of us. And then it becomes just reflective. It becomes an automatic response. So the challenge is to become present with ourselves, really present with the divine. You know, Ernest Holmes gives us some direction in this. He says, learn to court the presence, not by seeing God in all things and everyone, but by feeling God all the time. Feel the presence in the sacred place of your consciousness. See, courting that presence connects us back with that truth, that gift of ourselves. I mean, what if we stripped away all the labels? What if we stripped them all away? Stripped away our name, our gender, our family story. We're just left with our essence. You know, in Vedanta, what they say we are infinite consciousness and bliss. Infinite consciousness and bliss. Imagine if you're at a cocktail party and somebody says, "Tell me about yourself. Who are you?" And you go, "I'm infinite consciousness and bliss." Now, they may stop talking to you, or maybe they hang around, and then you have something really to talk about, right? Something really great and something really deep. So I really believe this presence, this being of us shows up when we're in the now. When we're not in the past ruminating about something that just happened, or we're not in the future trying to plan or fix something, but when we're fully present in this moment. You ever been with somebody who's so present? You can feel their energy in that moment and that connection. You know, they say when people go to visit the Dalai Lama, who's practiced, right? Practiced many years being present in meditation. When people walk in the room, they just start crying. They start crying. They feel that energy of his essence and his presence because he's been able to strip away those layers of being. So I want to give us an experience of that. Who'd like an experience of your essence? Essence, yeah, we're ready. You got to say yes to it. Okay, good. I like you guys. You like to play. That makes me happy. All right, so we're going to do a little meditation. We're going to do a little guided meditation. So I'm going to invite you just to get anything off your lap, get your feet on the floor, and we're going to take a collective breath in and let it out. And if it is comfortable to do so, close your eyes. Another breath in and just release it. Now just getting still, feeling the rise and fall of your chest, the coolness of the air in and the warmth out. I want you to call up your name in your mind, your age, your gender, Any roles you identify with, grandparent, mother, father, brother, uncle, whatever it is. Just call that up. And now I want you to say in your mind, I am not that. I am not that. And now as you drop into your body, I want you to feel your body. I want you to expand your consciousness out to the edges of your body and just outline your body as if you had a pencil around your head, around your shoulders, both shoulders, neck, arms, just outlining your body, shoulders into your chest, waist, hips, legs, feet. Feel the outline of your body, the very edges of your body. Just pushing your consciousness to the very edge, right where that line is. And now I want you to feel and experience that line dissolving. It's disappearing, it's dissolving. As you move your consciousness past the line, maybe bits of it have flown away, disappeared, dissolved as you move out past your body and into the room you're in. Consciousness moving out bigger and bigger and bigger until it reaches the walls of the room. All four walls and the ceiling and the floor. Just expanding your consciousness and your mind now past the walls as it moves and melts through the walls, through the house or building, wherever you're at, it's moving past that. As it gets bigger and bigger and bigger. Now it's the whole block that you're in, just moving higher and bigger. As you expand your consciousness now into your city, think about how big your city is. You're going to the edges of that. And now bigger the whole state you're in. And still bigger yet, the entire United States. See a map, a whole map, very edges, and then the world itself. You are this expansiveness moving into the universe, into space. You might feel a lightness, an eternalness, joy, wonder, excitement. This is your being. This is your essence. It's never born, never dies. This is the expansiveness of you. Connected with all things, all places, all spaces, all people. Now I invite you to make your way back to the earth, back to the United States, back to your state, back to your town, back to your building, back to your chair, inside your body. Fully back now into your body, wiggling your fingers and toes, opening your eyes. Back to your human version. And I invite you to keep playing with this meditation and see how far you can get. It's a great way to shift your energy and mind and experience. And becoming this expansive truth of who you are. So I have some tools. Who wants some more tools? Want some more tools? I love tools. I'm all about the tools. Something we can take away and continue to cultivate this knowingness of who we really are. Because imagine if we walked around more in the essence of our divine being, how might we show up differently? How might others see us differently? We might begin to glow that bliss, that love, all of the street names of the divine, right? Joy, serenity, peace, love. That kind of glow. And as we work with these tools, that's what starts to happen. So I got any journalers in the room? Who are my journalers? Got a few journalers? If you haven't journaled, you can just try this one exercise and maybe start a practice that way. But here's what I want you to do. I want you to take out your journal or a piece of paper, however you want to do it. And I want you to write the question, who am I? Who am I? And then I want you to just do a brain dump. Everything you can think of, whether it's a label, a judgment, doesn't matter what it is, Mitch, Uncle, Scorpio, whatever it is, right? Just dump it all out there. And then when you kind of reach a natural stopping point, I want you to ask the question again, who am I? But you can't use any labels, judgments, or world identifiers. So you have to go to this place. I am light. I am the divine spark. I'm eternal energy. And see all these things that start to come out differently now. Because now you're really aligning with the high truth of yourself as you go into that space. And pay attention to how it feels. Because those feeling tones are really you connecting with you on a deeper level. The second tool I love is mindfulness, one of my favorite tools. I was using it the other day as I was preparing for this talk, and I thought, I was in my car and I turned off the music and I had my hands on the steering wheel and I could feel the coolness of the steering wheel. I could hear the tires on the road. And then I could hear the tires of all the other cars on the road. And then as I was fully present, immersed in my car, just right in that moment, I felt this stillness drop in, this calm, this peace. See, it wasn't all layered over with busyness, flashy thinking, where am I going, what am I doing, replaying conversations with people. Anybody do that? You rewind the conversation, keep playing it over, right? All of that falls away when you're doing an act where you're fully present. Try, if you do dishes, maybe you got Christmas dishes to do. Fully immersed with that plate, fully present with the soap, fully engaged in that activity. And then the feeling tones that come up, that's your essence coming through and the true gift of you. My third tool, my favorite tool, is contemplation. Who believes nature is first church? Anyone with me? I'm a nature is first church, right? Because there's nothing between you and the divine. There's nothing between you and spirit when you're out in nature. And so I would invite you to go out into nature and feel the wonder of God's handiwork when you get there. And I want you to, whatever you see, I want you to ask yourself and contemplate, how am I like that? Right? Because all there is the divine out there. That's all there is, God's handiwork. How am I like that? If you see a goose paddling through the river, you think, sometimes I'm on my way to somewhere, right? That goose is on its way to somewhere. Sometimes I'm on my way to somewhere. Or you look at a tree. And you see the roots going down in the earth and getting nourishment, and think about your roots. What has nourished you, right? And all of a sudden, as you have this deeper contemplation and experience of nature, you start to feel that golden thread of the divine that's woven through all of it, including you. And you start to connect with that awe, that brilliance, that you were a good idea in the mind of the divine. Because all things are a thought before they're a thing, including you. You know, Julia Cameron, I love her. Here's what she says. She says, walk with me to the edge of the city. Take off your shoes and feel the earth. Remember who you are. You are a star, a mountain, that fountain in the sun. Your heart is the velvet cave where birds sing. Isn't that beautiful? The velvet cave where birds sing. So I invite you to make a commitment to unwrapping all of those layers that got put on top of you, right? We've all drank the Kool-Aid of the world, which we need to, right? We need to have a name, you need to have an identity. These things are handy when you're having a human experience, but they're not who we are. They're not who we are. So I invite you to loosen your attachment of these world identifiers, labels, undersecretary, whatever it is, and wear them like a loose coat. Wear them like a loose coat, because all of them fall away. All the labels fall away. Everything falls away eventually. I've noticed lately my hair is falling away, right? I have to loosen my attachments to certain things and know that whether I'm bald or not, or whatever I'm attached to, that there's an essence in me, an eternal divine spark that is always a gift. That is always, when it is radiating, it is lighting up the world. It is providing a glow to the people around me. You know, I was watching a documentary called Endgame on Netflix, and it's really about people's last journey on the human experience, right, before they transition. And they were focusing on different people. And there was this one story of this man that really touched me. And his name was Bruce. And he had decided to stop dialysis and to go to the Zen Hospice Center in San Francisco. And they were zooming up on Bruce with the camera, and the doctor was there talking to him, and he's eating again. He wasn't eating before. I guess he's happy now in this space, right? And the nurse comes up and says, Bruce, you're a favorite. We love you, Bruce. And you could just feel his glow. Now, understand, Bruce probably can't even use the bathroom by himself, right? Every label he had, I don't know what he was in mainstream life, whether he was a cook or a business owner or whatever he was, or a father, all those labels are just melting away. And all that's left is the essence of Bruce. And his eyes twinkled and danced when she was talking to him. And then he smiled real big, and he had 2 teeth here and 1 tooth there. And you could feel the glow of his energy, his essence. That's what they were loving about Bruce. It had nothing to do with anything else. And that is a gift. We always have that to be, to share, and to experience, no matter what this human journey throws at us. So I invite you to start living more from your essence and less from the labels of the world. But it requires that we let go. We let go. And that's the hard part sometimes, because it's seductive, isn't it? I'm on my way to become a minister. I can't wait to say, I'm Rev Mitch. But really, I'm infinite consciousness and bliss, right? That's really what I am, right? And so are you. So it requires a little letting go. So I have a little piece I'd like to share with you. And I love this piece because it's written with female pronouns. So much of Philosophy and everything's written with male pronouns, he. Well, now we're going to get she. So just know we're a little bit of the feminine and the masculine in all things. So this piece is written by Reverend Sapphire Rose. And the title is She Let Go. Without a thought or a word, she let go. She let go of the fear. She let go of the judgments. She let go of the opinions swarming around her head. She let go of the committee of indecision within her. She let go of all the right reasons. Wholly and completely, without hesitation or worry, she just let go. No one was around when it happened. There was no applause or congratulations. No one thanked her or praised her. No one noticed a thing. Like a leaf falling from a tree, she just let go. There was no effort. There was no struggle. It wasn't good. It wasn't bad. It was what it was. And it was just that. In the space of letting go, she let it be. A small smile came over her face. A light breeze blew through her. The sun and the moon shone forevermore. She just let go. Blessed be. Let's take this message into prayer. As we turn within, remembering what we've always known, that there's only one power, one presence, one being, one wisdom, one vibration of life, moving in all things, all places, all spaces, holding the minute solar system of an atom together and shining the sun. That it's this principle of life that is all of me in the affairs of my life, and it is all of each and every person hearing my voice. This presence, this energy of the divine, this essence that was never born and never dies, fully worthy of all the gifts of spirit, spirit giving to spirit. As we remember and claim the truth of us in all situations, always remembering, no matter what is said to us, what is thrown our way, what falls away, what comes, what goes, that ebb and flow of life, we are always this divine presence, eternal, powerful, loving, joyful, wise, peaceful, serene. And so I simply give thanks for this time together, knowing that this word now grows in each person that hears it. The high identification of the truth within, this light, this God being of ourselves. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And so I simply release this word into the activity of love and law, knowing that it is already done. And together we say, and so it is.